I'd like to show you how to make some unusual looking gate towers. It's a little bit different than the standard models. This is more or less a standard model, what you would normally be seeing in most games. What I made were these. Some rather unusual ones, looking a little different. I made them out of spare parts and some paint. And I'm going to show you how to make them. The first step in building one of those towers is to assemble the raw materials. The raw materials consist of shrill. This is left over from a tank that I purchased. Here. I've already punched out the pieces. Hasn't assembled it yet, but I'll get to that. A couple bottle caps off of a soda can, or a soda bottle. Some basic rocks, which I'll have to break up a little bit. And just basic white glue. The first step is to cut out the piece you want. I have decided I want this piece right here. To do that, I'm going to take the wire cutters and I'll snap it right there, and right there. That will leave me a piece there. Now, I'll end up with a piece something like this. Now, you've noticed I've already snipped off the bottom here, which would be the equivalent of me snapping off this piece right here. Okay. The next step is to see if it fits just fine in here. Stand it up in the bottle caps. It balances just fine, and I can tell by looking at from at least my eye angle here that it is level, more or less. So I know it's going to stand correctly. The next step in constructing the tower is painting. Now I've already spray painted this item here with some black primer. Next, I'm going to use some silver paint on it to make it appear mostly silver, just like most light poles are that you would see. And then I'll use some rust coloring in order to rust parts of it to give it a rustic effect. I've completely painted it now. I used the silver paint to cover the entire piece, and then I used some rust paint to give it that rusty effect. Now that I painted it up, I got to looking at it, and I don't like a small aspect of this. If you'll notice these bumps right there, there's extensions out where the mold was filled in. Well, I said I don't want those, so I'm going to remove them. I'm going to do so with the wire cutters. Get in there and snip them off. Bingo. It's gone. Now if you notice, in the bottom of this, of the caps here, were what seemed to be some rocks holding the tower up. Well, those rocks were actually small little pebbles that I'd gotten just off of some gravel. Unfortunately, most of these pieces are a bit too big for the project. So I have to get some of them down in size. Easiest way to do that is crush them. So I usually take a pair of vice grips like this. Now, making sure that I do not have my fingers in the wrong spot. See if I can crush this one. Yep, there we go. And voila, we have gravel or small pieces here that I can put into the bottle caps, and they'll look like large boulders. Now it's time to assemble the pieces. We got the base here. We have the tower. Now, the tower is not going to stand on its own there while I secure it in place, so I use a little framing structure made out of Legos. I use this on the other side. Get it just in there just right. Adjust these. Now, I'm going to be taking this gravel, the small rocks, which proportionally looks like big boulders, and placing it in there. Now I'll be keeping an eye on that straight up and down, whether that's level to the eye. If it's pretty much level to the eye, I'm okay. Good enough. And I'll be placing little rocks inside here. Now I know this is going to take a lot of time, so I'm going to speed the video up at this point as I do this. Okay, I got the rocks in place. That took a few minutes. Now I'm going to put the glue in, and here's how I'm going to do it. I'm going to take and just slurp it in. See, what I want to do is I want to glue the rocks in place, and you know as well as I do, when the white glue like this hardens, it produces a rock-hard substance. So all I have to do is put enough in there so that the bottom is covered in glue. It will slowly work its way down to watch myself so I don't bump anything. Now I could have just filled it with glue and just left it sit there with a big giant lump of glue, but once it dries and starts and sets, it'll look kind of better with having rocks in there. So now I let it set for an extended period of time and see how it turns out. And now the finished product. Here's the tower with this concrete stone base, all painted up, rusted, and looking cool. Ready to decorate the map board at the next game. And that's how you make very cheap, inexpensive gate towers.